Right, hello. I'm going to explain what systemic injection is, but first, in order to understand the difference between a systemic injection and normal pesticide, we have to know what normal pesticide is. So, normal pesticides are called systemic pesticides, and these are the pesticides that are usually sprayed or they're applied by drone in the sky to crop fields. Now, these pesticides, like I said, they're sprayed and they're either absorbed into the plant through contact or they go into the soil and the water absorbs the insecticide, fungicide, and herbicide, and then it is absorbed into the plant's roots. Now, the tool that you see here is the tool that is used for the systemic injection. So there's a hose connected to the big tank filled with water with a little bit of chemicals in it. And then per EPA regulation, they say you have to have a safe distance pole to protect you. And then you have a base there that stops the pesticides from getting into your face. And then on the bottom, you have a needle. It's a pretty broad needle, and it has four sides, four holes, which the pesticides are injected out of. As you can see here, it goes into the ground. Usually it goes into this mulch area, like relatively close to the plant, and you would spray it, and the tree would be protected from diseases like, what's the disease? I'm blanking. Powdery mildew, like powdery mildew disease, or it could be protected from an ant infestation, which is most commonly what injections are used for, or in severe cases, the emerald ash borer. So these injections go straight into the soil and the plant absorbs them. There's water and pesticides in there, so the plant absorbs the water. Now, why you would want to do this rather than a traditional systemic pesticide is the drift. So I kind of went over to what drift was, but in the essay. But drift, it's when pesticides are blown off course by the wind. And this obviously causes a lot of issues when it hits unintended targets. It can maybe hit your flowers or something, or it could hit the wrong crop, and it could even kill that crop or your flowers. We don't want that to happen. So these go directly into the target that we want. That is the most important part. And here I have a video of me spraying these pesticides into grass. So they don't have to just be used for trees. They could be used for grass in here. There's some fertilizer in there too, but this protects the grass from disease and bacteria. Now, some of the downsides of using a systemic injection is the helpful bacteria and microbes in the soil or in the grass will die. But in comparison to your tree dying from infestation or disease, it's not too hefty of a price to pay. Now, one last final injection, which is probably the best injection you could use, is a wedgel injection. Now, those downsides I was talking about with the microbes and bacteria dying, those casualties are far less because this has a little needle that goes straight into the trunk of the tree. And rather than having to go into the soil, it doesn't touch the soil at all. And that's where most of the helpful microbes and bacteria are found in the soil. So this goes straight into the circulatory of the tree, the circulatory system of the tree, sorry. And the tree gets its insecticide and fungicide, and it's protected from disease and from infestation. Now, why we would use this as opposed to a normal systemic injection is, let's say we're in a city area where there's not too much soil. In the image I showed earlier, there was a big mulch area and lots of grass. There's lots of soil, which means lots of roots for the tree to absorb the water. In cities, trees' roots have to be in a condensed area. So there's not enough soil in there for the systemic injection to be as effective as possible. So we use this wedgel injection here, and it shoots it straight into the circulatory system. No medium needed for transportation, and when the tree gets the nutrients that it needs to fend off the bacteria, fungal infection, or infestation. And like I said, drift is a non-factor with this. And it's very targeted and it helps the environment and only does exactly what he wanted to do. So that's your 5-minute introduction to insecticides, and I hope you enjoy your day. Thank you.